Hi guys, it's Shell, Sunbury Housewives. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to our channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see future videos. So today I'm actually trying something that I've never tried before. So let's go ahead and see how this turns out, shall we? I'm actually trying the alcohol ink waterfall technique. So I'm using a sublimation mug actually, but it didn't sublimate. So I'm using alcohol ink, and this making a big mess. So I'm pouring tons of alcohol. This is 91% alcohol, and I'm pouring it all over the mug. You want to saturate this really, really well. So I'm using two different inks. This is a purple. This is Let's Resin ink. So I'm using this purple and just pouring it all over, and then this teal color. So it doesn't look like much now, but just wait and see. So you're going to use a ton of alcohol, ink and a ton of alcohol. So I just keep pouring, and then once I get to the amount that I want, I take my heat gun on a low heat and just start moving the alcohol ink around. So, and I did spritz it with my spritz just to keep it wet a little bit without actually pouring it on, but I do end up pouring it on. This goes through a lot of different stages to get to where I want it. And I do add, I do begin by using a silver alcohol ink, and I really did not like how this turned out. So yeah, just follow along and watch the transformation that this goes through. It goes through several transformations. It was around here that I thought I really liked it, but that silver was not showing up. So, of course, I couldn't leave it alone. So I do add more alcohol. And by adding alcohol, you're reactivating the alcohol ink. I used my heat gun and poured the alcohol ink on and got it all over my wall. Of course, it ain't me without making a mess. So this is what it's looking like so far. So I switched to gold, and of course it wasn't showing up either. So I think what the problem was is because there's absolutely no epoxy on this. And I think that's the problem, is that the because of the shimmer in the gold alcohol ink really didn't have anything to really sink and hold on to. So here I'm just basically starting over and adding more alcohol and more alcohol ink, and I'm starting now to get to where I think I'm starting to like it, but I just keep adding that gold, and that's my mistake. It just keeps disappearing. So I decided to switch direction and see if this will help, and of course it didn't. But just keep watching the transformation until I finally get to where I'm actually happy with it. So of course I can't leave this gold alone. And it was at this point that I started muddying it up, and I just didn't like it at all. So I just douse it with alcohol again and basically start over. As you can see from the paper towel underneath, it is a mess. But that's what I like about alcohol inks, is it's never permanent. You can just start on over. So here I go again, dousing it with the alcohol inks and seeing if I can't fix this, because I thought for sure I had completely ruined this. So I think at this point I just left the gold out of it and was going to wait until I added epoxy, which of course I forgot to film that part. So it was at this point I was pretty pleased with how this was turned out. I finished adding all my alcohol inks and was just using the heat gun to help this dry. Alcohol inks dry fairly quickly, so I knew this was going to be dry, but I did let this dry for 24 hours before I added any epoxy. I did finish off my whole bottle. It wasn't a whole bottle, but there was still quite a bit in my bottle of alcohol. So I was so pleased with how this finally had turned out. So I did add two coats. This is my first of my 2 coats of epoxy, and I added in the gold here. And this was what I was looking for. The distribution of the alcohol, of the gold alcohol ink, did exactly what I was hoping it would do. So after the second coat, this was done. I loved how this looked so much. I didn't even want to add any decals or sayings or anything to it. I just loved how this turned out. So it was time to clean up the rim. I was just taking my craft knife and going around the rim and taking off any excess epoxy that may have, gotten up onto the rim or inside. And yeah, and then I'm going to clean the inside of the mug of any of alcohol ink that got inside. So I'm just being very careful on the outside because it is a ceramic mug. You don't want to dig down too deep and go through that, protective layer that's on the ceramic mug. I am absolutely in love with this. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a great big thumbs up and make sure to check out my website. This will be on it. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.